Hey everybody, this is Frankie Abbruzzino with the, actually I should say mayoral candidate running for the city of Venice mayor, and I'm doing these digital town halls, and the reason I chose to do it digitally is because the amount of, if I go out in public, some of the a candidate that's involved and some of his followers tend to be extreme, where they have been when I've run interviews. And I just don't want to deal with that crap. And I figure, I'll just do digital town halls. So here I am doing the first one. There is a number you can call, 941-275-2884. It's up on the screen if you guys want to call in and ask a question, or you can type it. I'm going to be monitoring it over on my other computer that's next to me, so I can address any questions that you may have. Basically, on this one, I'm just going to cover where I stand on the issues. Some people have asked. It kind of surprises me because people on my site have asked, where do I stand on the issues? And to me, it seems like, well, I thought most people understood because I'm always posting about it. So apparently that's not enough, and I need to elaborate some on it. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on those. I'm just sharing this real quick in one other arena, and then I can do this. Let me get the Facebook up so I know if there's any questions. I'm going to be on my main page. I'm not going to be on my group page, which is also at, so if you want to ask a question, you can ask on there, or like I said, try calling in. So let me go ahead and get started. Basically, where do I stand on the issues? And I'm not sure how these became the defining issues of this election. And guys, the election's a long way off. It's not until November, but for some reason I keep getting pushed to go out and start getting out there now and talking to individuals. The three issues that everybody is focusing on right now are the environment. Obviously, that's a huge issue, something that I've always been all over, especially with the latest report, which I'll cover in just a second. And the other thing that a lot of people have been on is, believe it or not, fiscal responsibility at the city level, which we're going to cover. And you'll be surprised by some of the stuff that we see happening out there. And then lastly, but not least, is the one that slipped in my mind, sustainable development. And that I also put out an article yesterday, a posting, which has a lot of shares and a lot of interest. Unfortunately, it's really strange. You'll see a lot of interest every once in a while on those, but you don't see a lot of action to follow those interests. So let's start with the environment, and basically continue to work with groups that are out there and trying to push a lot of the efforts that I push. A lot of people, you would think the way Bob's all over this outflow issue that he's the one that initiated, and it's far from the truth. I've shared the links, and you can go to my frankieabbruzzino.com and see the actual story in 2012 where Daniels and Hollick are in there talking about how they discovered through a Herald article, some student ran an experiment, that was the main source of pollution. Even after the report comes out, the city engineer, Kathleen Whedon, decided yesterday that she was going to tell people it's related to the pigeon poop. The same pigeons that are there all year round. Somehow they're attributing it to that. They just don't want to accept the fact that it's the outflows pipes. That report came out. It said, yeah, there's lead, there's the basically poop, bacteria, nitrates, nitrogen, all that, of everything that we've been saying coming out of there and flowing. They're going to discuss it at Tuesday's meeting. They'll probably deny a lot of it. They'll probably say, well, that's why we're on top of this stuff. That's why we decided to test it. But what you guys need to keep in mind is they knew about this in 2012, and for 7 years they did absolutely nothing. So now they know about it again. They had to spend a few thousands of dollars, I don't know, usually a consultant is $20,000, $30,000, to tell them that the water's polluted. Rob Merlino, after I did my video, and Hollick and Daniels and Clench, they all came out and said, yeah, fake news. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That water's pure. It's clean. I'd put my own kids in front of it. Rob Merlino ran a test, and it came back very high. I think it was in nitrogen levels, nutrients. I'm getting my chemical compound screwed up. So anyways, he ran that, and they said, okay, we're going to pay for a consultant. They went out, they finally had the consultant, and that's the report they're going to review. So what you guys need to continue keeping in mind is they knew this in 2012 and did nothing. Now they know it in 2019. Are they going to continue to do nothing? Now, they have changed some. They're going to test the water. They were never testing it. When they sat that back there and ridiculed me, they said, oh, we're testing it. Clench did. And lo and behold, they never tested it. It was a farce. And that's, I'm going to touch on clinch again because I think I narrowed it down to what the biggest city issue is. And this is if I get elected or not. It's something people need to start acting upon. And that's Hollick, Daniels, Gates, Couture, all these people on the council continue to sit there and pat these city members on the back, telling them how great of a job they're doing when they're doing a crappy job. This Clinch guy is the one that was in control of the outflow. He's the one that was lying, saying it was clean. He's the one that was basically ridiculing me. He got promoted. And now they found out his fleet management program's a mess. This guy is a mess and probably shouldn't be working for the city. The city manager, time and time again, you see emails and conversations at the regular meetings where this guy's just dropping the ball. Yet he gets a 4% raise. And I tell you to reflect back in this. I'm going to hop around. I always do this. Fiscal responsibility. I did an article on the salaries. Our salaries for city employees at the high-end executive level is like 8 times more than the national average. And I sent it to Daniels back then. I knew he was considering running for mayor. And he said, well, they're in line. They're fine. In line with Sarasota County. And we want to get the top people in these positions. And I said, well, in line, and I don't know if they are in line, but does that justify that blowing it out and not staying in line with the national average just because you want to stay in line with Sarasota and you want to get the top-notch people? But are we really, when we're having so many concerns and issues with somebody like the city manager? And if you look at their salaries alone, I think when I looked at their salaries combined, they were getting over, between the city manager and assistant city manager, over $300,000, and they're just getting a 4% raise. Must be nice. Then you got the part-time